Twilight, also known as Loid, is the best spy any country could dream of having. He lost his parents at a young age due to war, which led him to become a spy for his country, Westalis. With his amazing speed, intelligence, and close combat skills, he's admired by top agents. But what makes him truly great is his ability to blend in and attack from within. He's known for dating women during missions and leaving them as soon as the job is done. Loid gets a new mission. An important Westalis diplomat died in a car accident in Ostania, and although it looks like an accident, Westalis is convinced it was an assassination. This threatens the peace treaty between the two countries, so it's crucial to stop the opposition leader Donovan Desmond from causing more harm. The only way to get close to Desmond is through his son's school, Eden College, where he attends social events. Loid's mission is to enroll a child in Eden College within 7 days, so he heads to Berlin and Ostania under a new identity, Loid Forger, a psychiatrist. Loid adopts a girl named Anya from an orphanage. She's 4 years old, but thanks to her secret telepathic ability, she convinces Loid she's 6 and proves her intelligence by completing a crossword puzzle. Loid adopts her, but soon realizes she's not as smart as he thought when she struggles with basic tasks, like pointing to the wrong places or paying incorrectly. Frustrated, Loid thinks about returning her to the orphanage, but when Anya overhears this through her telepathy, she starts crying. Loid calms her down and decides to give her another chance. Loid prepares Anya for the entrance exam by encouraging her to study, but she's more interested in playing. While he's away, Anya accidentally sends a coded message that gets intercepted by Ostania's intelligence service, putting them both in danger. Loid fights off attackers, rescues Anya, and decides he'll keep her until the mission is complete. Despite the challenges, Anya passes the entrance exam with barely enough points, and they move to the interview stage. To get past the next stage, Loid needs to find a wife. He meets Yor, a 27-year-old city hall worker who is secretly an assassin. Yor is under pressure to appear like a normal person in society, so she agrees to pretend to be Loid's wife for the Eden College interview. While they are both just pretending, Yor starts to care about Anya, and Loid realizes Yor is perfect for the role. They get married in an unexpected way, throwing a grenade at enemies while driving. As they prepare for the interview, Loid tries to teach Anya and Yor how to act like an upper-class family. They attend cultural events like the opera and art galleries, but the results are disappointing. Despite their lack of progress, they bond as a family and find joy in simple moments like helping an old woman retrieve her purse from a thief. On the day of the interview, they are observed by the instructors, who are impressed by their appearance. But things get tough when one of the interviewers, Swan, asks rude and personal questions. Anya gets upset when asked to compare Yor to her biological mother, causing Loid to lose his temper and slam the table. Though Loid fears they've failed the interview, the family holds on to hope that the other two instructors will vouch for them. When the results come in, Anya doesn't make the initial list, but her name is at the top of the waiting list. Though Loid and Yor are relieved, Yor considers taking matters into her own hands to ensure Anya gets in. But in the end, they decide to wait and hope for the best. Here's a simplified and easier to understand version of the story. Loid is acting like a hero as planned, and he's off to save Anya. Along the way, he dodges attacks, defeats top agents, and uses his spy skills to get to Anya. When Anya sees her dad doing all of this just for her, she's super happy. Loid's next opponent is Yor, who's playing a witch. Yor is drunk, so she can't control her powers, making her super dangerous. Loid dodges her attacks but can't stop wondering how a witch can fight like this. In the middle of a kick, Yor's heel breaks, and she falls. Loid checks on her and is glad to see she's finally asleep. Then, the main villain shows up, but Loid beats him easily. After all that trouble, he finally saves Anya, who's overjoyed. The agents are also happy to be part of such an important mission. Anya promises to do her best in school. A few days later, Anya gets her measurements taken for her new school uniform. The shopkeeper congratulates her and warns Loid about the increase in kidnappings of students from Eden College. This puts Loid and Anya on alert. 5 days later, the uniform is ready, but Loid is busy, so he asks Yor to pick it up. After Yor gets the uniform, she goes shopping while Anya waits outside. But soon after stepping out, Anya is kidnapped by 4 people. She remembers the shopkeeper's warning, but before the kidnappers can do anything, Yor comes to the rescue. She's furious and warns them that if they don't leave, she'll smash their heads like pumpkins. Scared, the kidnappers run away. Yor feels like she failed as a mother for letting this happen, so at home, she and Anya start combat training until orientation day. Finally, the big day arrives. All the students and their parents gather at the school. Among the kids is Damien Desmond, the second son of the man Loid is targeting. Loid has 2 plans. Plan A is to make Anya an imperial scholar, but he's almost given up on that. Plan B is to have Anya become friends with Damien, so Loid can get invited to their house. Anya knows what she has to do, but when she reads Damien's mind, she's shocked. Damien thinks she's just a creepy girl staring at him for no reason. Anya's class is filled with rich and powerful kids. Loid hopes she'll get along with them. When a girl named Becky greets Anya, she ignores her because Becky thinks of Anya as a baby she wants to take care of like a big sister. Their teacher, Mr. Henry, gives the students a tour and explains how important it is to become an imperial scholar. Later, Damien and his friends start bullying Anya because they find out her dad is just a doctor. When one of Damien's friends pushes her, Anya is about to punch him, but she remembers her mom's advice to stay calm in such situations. With a smirk, she forgives them. Becky changes her mind about Anya and sees her as more grown-up now. Damien, however, is furious. He's planning to make Anya's life at school miserable. After putting up with a lot of bullying, Anya can't take it anymore and punches Damien, sending him flying. Mr. Henry rushes over, and Becky explains that Damien had been bullying Anya all day, but Mr. Henry isn't happy that Anya used violence. Anya explains that she only did it because Damien hurt Becky's foot. Mr. Henry is impressed that Anya held back for so long, but still used her strength to defend her friend. Despite that, Anya gets 1 punishment bolt instead of the usual 3 for violence. The next morning, while Loid is cooking, he worries that his plan is already failing. Anya apologizes and promises to make things right with Damien. Loid is relieved. At school, Anya tries to apologize to Damien, but Becky drags her away before she can. Loid, who's spying, gets worried that Becky might ruin his plan. Inside the classroom, Anya's reputation has gotten worse after the fight. Most students are scared of her, but Becky comforts her. Damien is still angry about the punch and is determined to get back at Anya. Anya tries again to apologize, but Becky interrupts once more, making Loid panic. He takes matters into his own hands and sends Anya indirect signals to apologize, but nothing works because Becky keeps getting in the way. Finally, Loid has had enough. He calls Becky out of the room, and Anya seizes the chance to apologize to Damien. As she tries to say sorry, Damien starts feeling strange. His heart is beating fast, and he doesn't know why. Even though he's blushing, he refuses to forgive her because of his pride. Loid is devastated. He realizes Plan B is doomed and puts all his hopes into Plan A. He starts making Anya study non-stop, but Anya gets fed up and locks herself in her room. Yor suggests giving Anya a break, and Loid realizes he's been too hard on her. Even though he's not her real dad, he wants to be a good father, so he softens up and lets her relax. One night, Loid finds Anya asleep at her desk, studying on her own. He feels proud of her and puts her to bed. Meanwhile, Yor's brother Yuri is shocked to learn that his sister got married without telling him. The next day, Anya wakes up and is upset she missed meeting her uncle. Loid, now suspicious that Yuri is part of the secret police, tries to stay alert. Later, Yor, feeling down about her role as a wife and mother, asks for advice from her co-workers. They remind her that Loid is an amazing guy, and she's lucky to have him. Loid overhears and realizes that Yor is genuinely trying to be a better wife and mother. Through a series of misunderstandings, Loid suspects Yor might be hiding something, but he later confirms she's just attached to their pretend family. Even though it's a fake marriage, both Loid and Yor feel like they are starting to become a real family. The next day, Anya gets her first Stella after helping save a boy at a pool. She becomes a school hero, and her classmates look up to her. But even with her new fame, Damien still doesn't warm up to her, and her classmates think she might have cheated to get the Stella. Surprisingly, Damien defends her, reminding everyone that their school wouldn't just give out a Stella for nothing. This only makes Damien more frustrated because he can't stand the idea that Anya, a peasant, has gotten ahead of him. At lunch, Becky suggests Anya ask for a reward. Anya, at first, thinks about asking for peanuts, but then decides she wants a dog, hoping this will get her invited to Damien's house, which would help her father's mission. Finally, it's Saturday, and Anya is so excited she almost chokes on her breakfast. After getting dressed, the Forger family heads to a pet shop. The owner works for Westalis, and knowing their real mission, shows them some guard dogs. Loid thinks Anya might like one, but soon realizes she's not interested in them at all. The owner suggests they try a pet adoption center nearby. Just as they are about to go, Loid gets a call from another agent. He pretends to have a stomachache and tells Anya and Yor to go ahead without him. Yor offers to wait, but Anya reads Loid's mind and helps by saying her dad takes a long time in the bathroom, so they should go on without him. Yor, embarrassed, agrees, and they head to the adoption center. Loid is grateful to Anya but thinks maybe she overshared. At headquarters, Loid meets up with another agent. A young boy named Chris has been captured. 2 days ago, the foreign minister of Westalis came to Berlin for a summit. Westalis got a tip that some university students are planning an attack on the foreign minister. Chris is being questioned, but refuses to give information. To his surprise, Sylvia tells him they don't need him anymore because his leader has been caught. Chris is shocked and sees his leader Keith being dragged away in handcuffs. Keith blames Chris, saying Chris is behind the plan. Feeling betrayed, Chris breaks down and reveals the group's hideouts and plan to use bombs strapped to trained dogs to kill the foreign minister. Everyone is shocked. Bomb-trained dogs are difficult to stop. Loid is suspicious. Training that many dogs takes a lot of resources. He wonders who is backing these students. With the hideouts revealed, a meeting is called. Sylvia assigns Luke to leak the information to the secret police so they can take action. Loid and other agents are sent to raid the hideouts and capture the students and dogs. Meanwhile, at the pet adoption center, Anya and Yor arrive, and Anya is thrilled by all the cute animals. Anya notices a large white dog outside, and strangely, sees an image of her family in the dog's mind. Curious, Anya sneaks away to follow the dog and finds more dogs tied up in a building. She overhears Keith and other students discussing their plan to bring war to Westalis by killing the foreign minister. Anya is scared and tries to leave, but a student named Kurt catches her. Keith can't afford to leave any witnesses and approaches Anya to kill her. Just then, the white dog breaks free and stands in front of Anya to protect her. But when one of the students raises a rod, the dog gets scared and hides behind Anya. As Keith moves closer, Anya reads the dog's mind and learns a phone is about to ring. The phone rings moments later, alerting Keith that their hideouts are being raided. Keith realizes that Chris has probably been captured and the secret police are closing in. Meanwhile, Anya and the dog make a run for it. Yor, who has been looking for Anya, becomes terrified when she remembers the recent news of young girls being kidnapped. Just then, she sees Anya being carried away by the white dog and runs after her. During the escape, Anya realizes the dog has a special ability like her. It can see the future. Excited, Anya believes she can save the world with the dog's help, but the dog just keeps running in circles. Eventually, they are caught by Keith and Kurt. Kurt grabs Anya, ready to get rid of her, but Yor arrives just in time. With one powerful kick, Yor knocks Kurt out. Keith panics, realizing that the woman is Anya's mother, and now he'll have to deal with her too. He orders a dog to attack Yor, but the dog runs away after seeing her terrifying face. Anya is scared but happy her mom saved her. People nearby hear the commotion and start to gather, forcing Keith to flee. Yor hugs Anya, expressing how scared she was of losing her. Anya apologizes and promises never to run off again. Anya tells Yor about the bad guys planning to use bomb dogs, and Yor immediately calls the police. While Yor is talking, Anya reads the white dog's mind and sees a future where her father is dead, a huge explosion happens, and war is declared. Anya is terrified. She knows she can't tell her mother, or Yor will find out about her powers. So she makes an excuse to take toilet paper to her dad, and with the white dog, runs toward the clock tower where the bomb will explode. Yor chases after her, and the Westalis agents intercept Yor's call. They capture Kurt and the other students, but Keith is still free. Sylvia sternly lectures the students about the horrors of war, but they remain silent. Loid and the agents head to the last hideout, the clock tower. At the tower, Keith plans to plant a bomb and use a dog to attack the foreign minister. Anya arrives and knows the explosion will happen when the bell rings, but she doesn't understand how much time she has. She asks an old man when the bell will ring, and he says in 30 minutes. Anya doesn't know how long 30 minutes is, so she heads inside the tower. The white dog barks just as she's about to open the door, warning her about the bomb inside. Anya sneaks in through a window and finds the bomb. Remembering her favorite spy anime, she knows she should cut the red wire, but all the wires are black. Devastated and out of time, she uses ketchup to write a message on the door. No. Loid and the agents arrive and spot the message. One agent rushes to open the door, but Loid stops him. Using a mirror, he sees the bomb attached to the door. Thanks to Anya, they avoid disaster. At the summit, Loid disguises himself as the foreign minister to lure Keith out. Keith chases after him, thinking he's the minister. When a bomb dog attacks, Loid uses a trick to remove the bomb, which explodes harmlessly in the river. Keith, realizing he's been chasing the wrong person, tries to escape, but Yor stops him with a single powerful kick. Keith is arrested, and Loid meets up with Yor and Anya. Loid scolds Anya for being reckless, but is secretly relieved they're both safe. Sylvia arrives in disguise to take back the white dog, but Anya begs to keep him. She argues that the dog saved her life. Sylvia agrees to let them adopt the dog after making sure he's healthy. Anya is overjoyed. The next day, the white dog arrives, and Anya names him Bond after her favorite TV character. The family goes to the park, and Anya is proud of her new dog. Loid, though exhausted from his missions, is happy to see Anya smiling. Anya and Loid head to his room, and Anya asks where the brain modification machine is. Loid is confused and tells her that doesn't exist, wondering what kind of shows she's been watching. After they clear things up, they head home. The next day, everyone in class shares their reports, and when it's Anya's turn, she accidentally mixes what Loid said and what she read from his mind. She tells the class that her dad is a psychiatrist who helps people with mental illnesses, but also says he's desperate to make connections, tricks his co-workers, and fakes being a nice guy. This makes everyone in the class suspicious about what her dad really does. Later that evening, a spy named Nightfall, real name Fiona Frost, is assigned a mission with Loid. Fiona works with Loid at his hospital and is one of the best spies around, but she's been unavailable for some time. Now she's back and eager to help. She even asks Sylvia if she can play the role of Loid's wife, but Sylvia says that's not necessary. Fiona seems to have her own plans and hints at wanting Loid's current wife, Yor, to back off. At home, Yor is feeling down because she failed to make breakfast again, and Loid had to cook. Just then, Fiona shows up at the door, pretending to return Anya's magnifying glass from the hospital. Since Loid and Anya are out, Yor invites her in. Yor is impressed by how pretty Fiona is, but Fiona is secretly planning to make Yor leave the family. Fiona starts asking Yor questions, trying to make her feel insecure about not being Anya's real mom. Fiona even lies and says that Loid complains about Yor being a bad wife at work. Before Fiona can finish her plan, Loid and Anya come back. Loid is surprised to see Fiona and wonders if there's an emergency. Using code language, Loid asks her why she's really there, but Fiona plays it cool. Anya, who can read minds, discovers that Fiona is madly in love with Loid and wants to replace Yor as his wife. Anya is horrified by the idea and hugs Yor, telling her how much she loves her. Yor, feeling reassured, promises to keep being the best mom and wife she can be. Loid, seeing this, tells Yor that she's already doing a great job, and that's enough for him. Fiona, however, knows that Loid's smile is fake. He's a master of hiding his true feelings, and she leaves frustrated. As Fiona walks out, it's raining, so Loid offers her an umbrella. She finally admits she's there to discuss a joint mission with Loid, but before leaving, she also hints at proving herself worthy of being Loid's wife. The next day, Loid and Fiona are briefed on their mission. Their target is Kevy Campbell, a wealthy businessman who owns an important painting that might hold a top-secret war-related message. To get close to Campbell, Loid and Fiona enter a tennis tournament hosted by Campbell, where the winner can choose any of his antiques, including the painting. Disguised as a couple, they compete in the tournament, using their incredible skills to win against professional and enhanced players.